Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a very pleasant night to you, my precious pack, and welcome back once more to, well, Total Annihilation. Time for a little bit of fun going back in time with this one.
It was near the end of the war, and after 4,000 years the Core Empire stood on the brink of final victory over the Arm Rebellion. Armed forces throughout the galaxy were overwhelmed by the superior numbers and firepower of the ruthless Core. Their bid for freedom nearly lost. The battered remnants of the Arm military clustered in the single star system which contained its home world, Empyreon. Empyreon too would have fallen were it not for the skill of the sole surviving Arm commander. A shrewd tactician and resourceful warrior, the commander took advantage of the system's relative isolation and was able to keep the enemy at bay. Armed troops weathered wave after wave of Core attacks, and it seemed as though they would be able to do so indefinitely. The stalemate ended when a small Core insertion team managed to slip through planetary defenses and establish the last of a chain of space-folding galactic gates which led directly to the surface of Empyreon. A decoy engagement was staged at the Arm outpost on the outer planet of Calibran in order to lure the commander away from Empyreon, leaving the planet virtually defenseless. The invasion began.
Is it wrong that I just sat there listening to that in utter silence? Even after so many decades of playing this game, I do not get tired of listening to the narrator talk, to just describe the situation before I take command of my robots and begin the war against this enemy that seems to never disappear. And every single time I play this game, it gives me the exact same level of excitement that it did the first time I played it. Why does it do that? How does it do that? I have no idea, because it's one of the few games that does that, and I mean, every time I play it, it's an injection of nostalgia directly into my veins, and it just takes me back to the childhood. And it's just deeply enjoyable. Is it the best game out there? I won't say it's the best game. It's one of my favorites. It's enjoyable for me personally. But for the most part, it's coming to the channel as a small series as I play through the campaign. So, for any of you old school RTS fans, well, you're gonna love the next few series that are beginning, as with this one and several others. Well, let's just say that I'm taking a trip back down memory lane with these ones. And as with this introduction, this will be the first of the both ARM and Core videos. And as with this, Darm side is complete, because that is victory.
Towards the end of the war, a series of key strategic victories shifted the long-standing balance of power in favor of the Arm Rebellion. Control over the few significant concentrations of resources left in the galaxy gave the Arm a crucial edge over the Core. Outmaneuvered and outgunned, Core forces everywhere were systematically wiped out. Finally, all that remained of the once proud empire was its command center, the planet Core Prime. Core Prime too would have fallen were it not for the unmatched skill of the sole surviving Core commander. A shrewd tactician and ruthless warrior, the commander repelled every Arm attack to approach the Core homeworld. Despite superior numbers, Armed forces were unable to overcome the commander's cunning defense. The stalemate ended when Armed forces somehow made their way undetected onto Core Prime. At the time of the initial invasion, the Core commander was undergoing routine maintenance and was deactivated by the Arm before a response could be mounted. The Arm had known precisely where and when to strike. The enemy had arrived.
Okay, I'm just gonna go back and listen to that narration just one more time. Just one more time real quick. Then I'll get started with the narration for this combat, because I mean, you just watched me blow up two vehicles in the background, but I just have to go back and listen to it one more time. I have to. Every time I listen to it, it just... Yep, like I said before, it's that injection of nostalgia directly into the veins. It's just amazing. But now we're on the Core side of things. We're fighting back against the Arm, because the Arm has managed to take control of the galaxy, and it's basically the reverse for either one. You're going to be helping whichever faction you play as fight back win, more or less destroy the enemy, and save your group. The primary point is you're like the final commander with whichever side you play as and whatnot. I mean, it's just... Even looking at this now, so many freaking years later, I do not get tired of seeing these little tiny robots walking around in this little 3D world from 1997. And then the battle packs that came out later. It's a game that I just enjoy. And I'll be playing more often around the channel along with a few other games. But yeah, this is just... seeing the weasels move about, the raiders fight, the instigators, the AKs. I'm not kidding. The little K-bot right there you see near the mouse, the one shooting the lasers, yeah, that's called an AK, for anyone who doesn't know it. That's a pile of scrap metal. Man, this game is just... When you need to go back, this is definitely one that I can always play and have fun with. Yeah, Stumpy, if I recall the name correctly. I mean, I may not know all their names by heart, because the majority of them I just play as I just call them whatever I made up as a kid. I still call them that, like the Pee-wees. I'll call them the shooters because they just spam rounds out. The Stumpies for the arm, the little tank you saw off to the left a second ago. Well, more than that now. I used to call them the Stubs. Oh yes. This is definitely that trip back down the memory lane. That injection of nostalgia. Does it annoy anyone that I say nostalgia differently almost every single time I say it? Because if so, I will make a compilation of me saying it in as many videos I have recorded and have said it. Just to see who it annoys or who gets a creepy enjoyment out of it. But yeah, I'm just... The sound effects... They never get old for me, the gameplay never gets old, the graphics never get old, the storyline, I've played through it thousands of times at this point, I mean, it's just, it never gets old, it's just enjoyable every single time. When I start to hear the narrator's voice, it's just like, I know I'm in for a joyful ride, and it's just a matter of just sitting back, relaxing, and just enjoying it. And enjoy it I shall, because just like that, that's victory. Did I seriously just talk through the entire 4 minutes, because it was part narration, part me sitting around. Okay, well, I need to get started with the next recording now. Once again, thank you for having joined me in today's video. I hope you all enjoyed, but as always, be safe out there, happy hunting, and as always, I'll see you next time.